Abhijit Dubey joins us now, the CEO of NTT Data. Abhijit, it is all about agentic AI, more autonomous decision-making in the workforce. As we talk about this partnership with Salesforce, just unpick it for us. What exactly will this achieve?
Yeah, we are definitely entering a world of hybrid work where we will have digital labor work alongside humans. And this digital labor pool is going to be comprised of agentic systems. There'll be autonomous adaptive systems that collaborate, they learn in real time, they make decisions, and they execute. And the human role is evolving from being an operator to a supervisor and ethical overseer. So to enable all of this and to deliver real enterprise at scale impact instead of just point AI pilots, we launched what we call the Smart AI Agent Ecosystem. And the idea is to deliver highly specialized, context-aware ecosystem of agents that effectively delivers digital labor that is safe, reliable, and secure. And so we're thrilled to add Agentforce from Salesforce to this ecosystem. This builds on our 25+ year partnership. We have co-created and co-innovated with Salesforce themselves to deliver Agentforce internally within the Salesforce environment. So we have a lot of skills and credentials. We have the largest library of industry use cases, and we deliver the full life cycle from design to orchestration to actual operational management of this digital labor pool. And so the intent is to really move enterprise customers from pilots to enterprise scale adoption and impact.
Abhijit, can I ask you about the sort of decisions that we could see taken by bots effectively instead of humans? Do you have any real life examples?
Of course. So if you take customer service as an example in the contact center, we now have deployments where we have seen 90% of incoming customer calls being taken by digital agents and never being touched by a human. And it's not only call deflection, but we're actually seeing these virtual agents being able to analyze the sentiment of the incoming caller and actually to make decisions real time on what products and or services to cross-sell and upsell to the customer. In fact, much better and more effective than what humans can do. Similarly, if you look at B2B sales, we spend a lot of time on deal validation and sales intake. And we have seen these deployment of these agents reduce the deal approval time by almost 70%. We also know that as companies, we spend a lot of time on talent acquisition. And we have seen deployment of these agents reduce the time to hire by almost 30%. So real life use cases, and then we have industry specific use cases as well in insurance, whether it's claims processing or fraud detection, in finance and banking, where it's all about financial crime prevention, etc. There's a whole range of use cases with real value creation that we are seeing.
To the technology, though, I just read into you about a story from Apple, how they're racing to catch up on large language models now and looking at their options to how to power Siri. But at the same time, and this is the title of a white paper released just earlier in June, saying the illusion of thinking. Researchers from Apple saying the ability to generalize, problem solve from some of this AI technology is simply just not where it should be. It's not where it's at. Do you see limitations in agentic AI?
Absolutely. I think we need a lot more domain-specific and context-specific awareness of these agentic systems. Otherwise, they're just general-purpose, conversational assistants. That's not where the real value creation comes from. The real value creation comes from when you can deploy these systems in the core operations of a company, network operations in a telecom, or manufacturing operations within a manufacturing company. And for that, these systems need to be highly context aware and highly specialized in what they're doing. And we are not there yet.
Let me take this point a little bit further in terms of where the value creation lies, where the value lies at this point in the whole chain across the AI space, because you do inferencing for enterprise customers, not the training of the frontier models. Why is that a better part of the market to be in right now?
Two reasons. We are actually an infrastructure provider as well. So we are the world's third largest data center provider. And for that, we have chosen deliberately not to play in the large language model frontier training market, but much more on the enterprise inferencing. And the reason why we have chosen that is because that's where the real value comes from. These agentic systems need to really understand the specific domain and the specific context that they're being deployed in. And they need to be working in concert with the humans. Think of this as effectively they are doing the work that we have our employees do today, but with years and years of experience in the industry, in the domain, and in our company. All those three dimensions, these agentic systems need to understand, and that only comes from inferencing.
Let me get your take on how the Chinese stack up right now in the AI sphere. Jensen Huang has made no qualms about the fact that the Chinese have raced ahead, and now they are formidable competitors to the U.S. and in many cases filling the void left by a number of U.S. companies in China. What is your take on how China stacks up in terms of AI leadership?
I think both on the infrastructure side as well on the open source model side, as well as in use cases, especially that relate to imaging, I think China is further ahead, no doubt about that. But I think what another phenomena we are noticing right now is that in many countries, especially in public sector and or critical industries like utilities or defense, there is a real demand in Europe, especially, and in Southeast Asia and Asia for sovereign AI clouds and sovereign deployments. And there's also the sentiment of anti-American big tech. And so being a Japanese provider, we feel that we are in a good position as a neutral provider to be able to really deliver the best technology for the best use case for our clients.
Abhijit, help me out with what I'm thinking in terms of how this partnership or how this could have evolved instead, because effectively Salesforce has a ton of its own data as well, a ton of capabilities. Why couldn't it have just plugged into some sort of NVIDIA stack and come up with its own agentic AI on its own instead of teaming up with you?
I think this is just the beginning of a convergence we are going to see in the industry. My belief is that today we have standalone software companies and standalone services, IT services companies. I think in the future, we will need a converged form of a company or a capability that brings the deep technical and product engineering capability that the software companies bring, but a deep understanding of the domains and the workflows within specific industries and within specific customers that IT services brings. I think we need both of those. And this is just one example and the beginning of that trend.
Abhijit, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great to speak with you. Abhijit Dubey, CEO of NTT Data.